So YouTube is telling me we are live, but sometimes YouTube likes to lie. But I will believe it because if I go and click on the video myself, it will start capturing that audio. So, um, this is mainly an idea and we're testing it. So, this will be very rough, but we're trying out a podcast. I know it's been a while with Sam. I haven't hung
Yeah.
out with Sam in like 5 months, and a lot has changed in all of our lives. Brandon, I've been seeing all the time because we live near each other. But let's go around and introduce each other. I'm Charles. This is, of course, on my channel. Um, I stream. We'll get more into details in a bit, but let's just do little introductions.
All right. My name is Brandon, or better known as the real PP Hero. Um,
Do you have an ID that says that?
aha,
Yeah, I'm gonna need to
you're
see your
good to know.
passport.
Wait, hang on. I wasn't imported here.
Hmm.
Hey, I'm Sam, Aviator Sam.
Okay. And what has everyone been doing for the past couple months? Let's start with Sam because me and Brandon have not spoken to Sam in half a year.
Yeah,
What's new with you, Sam?
I've just been kind of doing my own things. Been spending a lot of time with other people.
Now, are you
Uh,
still working?
uh, it's actually been way too long since I've worked. I haven't really been looking for a job for the longest time, but I'm starting again.
I know
I
that
actually
feeling.
put in an application earlier this week. I'm hoping to hear back eventually.
Maybe. That's how it
Maybe.
works.
We'll
That,
see. We'll
that's
see in
how it
due
works.
time.
When was the last time you worked?
Like February. And
Uh,
then my previous job actually fired me because my alarm clock screwed me over.
Oh yeah. I
And
remember. I remember that vaguely.
yeah,
You were
my alarm
saying
clock
like your
screwed me
power went
over.
out or something.
No, it wasn't a power outage. So Discord Mobile has this terrible, terrible thing where if you're in a call, it actually silences all of your phone's alarms.
And you
And so
fell asleep.
my alarm didn't wake me up because it didn't go off. And so I showed up to work 2 hours late. And my manager is like, "Yeah, you can go home.
Yeah, you can just kind of like F off.
You can go."
You can leave.
So yeah, that's how it ended.
Uh, It happens, unfortunately. I hate that kind of crap too. I know Brandon knows, but and I haven't discussed this openly on the internet yet, so this will be a surprise to everyone. I was unemployed for about 15 months. And
During the pandemic?
oh yeah, from June till July, August-ish, because that's when I got with the company and we were processing paperworks and that. But
Mhm.
I got laid off. Corona bullshit.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, same with a lot of people, really.
yeah, and they were trying to downsize the company before uh Corona happened, so it was kind of that thing that's like, yay, we can get rid of a lot of people. And because I was technically like, I'll say security,
Mhm.
I was kind of the face that was like, hey buddy, um don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't.
you were the slap on the wrist kind of person.
At first I would be, but if they try to raise a tone or like you start out soft and then when you like, hey buddy, you've done this twice now.
Oh yeah, well, of
You,
course.
you do it again, you're gone. But just like stuff like that, it happens. But I started looking for a job with like UPS, USPS, FedEx, and I was searching for jobs for the whole year. It's not like I was sitting on my ass being like, huh, I was looking for jobs. Nobody freaking hired. Nobody was hiring. Um, I actually applied for USPS for the American Postal System, and I got approved and everything. Got my thumbprints, found out who my boss was, started like everything. I'm in the system. They have everything about me, and they're like, you'll get an email from your boss on what day your district, like wherever your department is, so like the city. So they're like, you'll get an email from your boss because I met their boss, like the what's the word? The branch manager, and the district manager was like right under them. So they're like, you'll get an email from them, and um you'll know when to come in, and they'll start running you through the thing, like how to drive the vehicle and all that. And I'm like, oh, dude, that like being a mailman sounds so good. And they were giving me like, oh, you're gonna be making like $28 an hour plus you get per mile and all this other stuff. And it was like,
So they were really dressing it up to be a really good
yeah,
opportunity.
yeah. And
So
it wasn't even like the department that was doing that. It was like the whole company. Like it was the whole like USPS website. It wasn't even the district. It was the website that was advertising that. And I applied, I got approved and everything. I'm just waiting to hear back from my boss, waiting to hear back from my boss. And
it never came.
it never came. And I'm like, I even went there and I'm like, "Hey, I'm Charles. I applied for the position and that, and I got approved. I don't remember his name, but I'm just going to say Bill. I met Bill, and
Bill?
he told me you would email me in a week or two. I don't know if you lost my email or that. It's been about 3-4 weeks." And the lady was just like, "I have no idea who the hell you are. You know my boss's name, which almost no one knows my boss's name." So it's that thing that's like, you had to have met him. You had to have done the paperwork. I'm like, yeah, he did all my thumbprints, got a federal background check. I had to wait almost a month for that. And then he called me back and was like, yeah, everything came back good. You'll get an email and all that. And it's like, oh, great. And just nothing came through. Another month and a half goes by. So I applied for that position back in like July of
Oh
2020.
jeez.
Yeah, July of 2020. It's October
Oh
2020.
my.
It's October 2020. In close to
One.
Halloween. No, not 2021, just 20.
Okay. So this was all last year.
Yeah. So like almost 3 months pass, and I finally get an email. Sorry, we are downsizing and are not hiring any new positions.
Oh, it took the. Oh my god.
It took them like 3 months.
It took
Like
them that long to tell you.
it took them about a
I mean,
month.
at least they told you, but it took them that long.
It took them about a month and a half to tell me. And I've been searching ever since, and now I am a school bus driver.
I was about to say I'd rather not be told anything, but that's just straight up not true. I mean, at least they told you that they weren't. At least they told you that they turned you down instead of just leaving you in the dark for
No,
eternity.
they even said if we were able, if someone, they even, like in the email, they said if someone quits or gets sick or we need a replacement, we still have all your stuff on file, and you can even reapply for a different branch or something. We have all your federal background checks and everything, so you're good. And it was just the thing that's like, yeah, I'm not waiting forever. So I just kept on looking, and I eventually found this nice position with a school bus company. And I passed my Class B driver's license test near the beginning of September. And I started driving a school bus a little bit after that. And I've been enjoying it. Some of the kids, because I have to drive like elementary, middle school, high school. Some of the elementary school kids get a little rowdy from time to time, but all you gotta do is put your foot down. The high school kids, oh, you put your foot down. They think they can put their foot down harder than yours. It's like it it's the thing, like you're a school bus driver, you can't do nothing. It's basically the same rules as a teacher. But it's that thing that it's like if there's a fight on the bus, you can't do nothing, but you do have to like attempt on breaking up the fight without touching them.
I never really thought about it that way, but like,
You must use the power of the Force.
Yeah, I have to use the Force, which is like I have not had that situation yet, so I'm happy. Most of my kids are good. The most trouble I ever have is like sometimes the teenagers will put their arm out the window and it's like, dude, I'm driving. Don't put your arm out the window. And the one kid got a good little freaking like ow the other day. I was driving and where I live, we have a bunch of trees where the branches just laying low and the city
Uh-huh.
does nothing about it. In fact, my city's actually been like tearing up the trees and making it so there is no trees up against the sidewalk so that they don't have to maintenance them. So they've been just making it so there's no trees on sidewalks, but there's still a lot of them. It's just they've been slowly tearing up one tree and going down the list, you know?
That reminds me of the time back in, I think it was 2019. I think the city got tired of maintaining the grass in the middle, and I
Between the
think it was more
sidewalk
than
and the
that.
road.
Yeah, no, like in the middle of the road, there was like this divider that had grass on it.
Oh, like
But I think,
a pylon. Like it would divide the left side and the right side
yeah,
of the road.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why they replaced it with gravel is not just because of laziness, but because there was also wild horses in the area,
Oh yeah, and they would be like, "Ooh,
and
food."
they would literally cross the street to get to the grass in the middle of the road.
Uh,
So it was a matter of maintenance cost and also
I mean,
safety.
the horses may still be like, "Ooh, grass on the other side of
There
this
was this
4-lane highway."
there was there was this one night I was driving to In-N-Out to get my family some fries and shakes. And there were a couple of horses in the middle of the road just standing, and that was the first time I had ever come across an animal that was in the road
D-
that I had to stop to
That
not hit.
actually reminds me of that meme that was floating around a few months ago, and it was this
Mhm.
alligator in the middle of the street, and this car pulls up alongside of it. It's like, "Dude, you okay?
Dude, you good?
You good?"
You drunk?
Yes.
Don't fucking hiss at me.
Okay, man. Well, stay safe. And he drives away. That was
Yeah,
great.
I remember that.
Okay, Brandon. I know you're more of a little bit of a quiet type, but what's new with you that you want to tell the world?
Sorry about that. I got a phone call just as
Yeah, it's
just as
fine.
you asked that question. What
Life
was the
life
question?
is important. Just what's new with your life?
Um,
What have you
nothing.
been up to that you wish to share?
Being separated from the server, I don't know what's going on besides what get posted in the text channels.
Yeah, and
Understandable.
also nobody knows because we're talking to the ether, known as the internet.
I am the ether. Wait.
Wait, what? Will you replenish my
What?
mana?
Perhaps.
Okay.
Are you the guru?
Haha, I'm not allowed to reveal my secret identity. But in other news, I've been doing pretty good myself. I haven't been doing too much as far as just, general working uh and so forth. I mean, I've been taking some time now to try and get try to focus on at least in the gaming world. I've been taking
Yeah,
more time just to
you've been
focus on
climbing LOL, right?
yeah, I've been playing a lot more League. I'm actually part of a League bootcamp program
A
where we're
little guild
basically not really a guild. It's well, hopefully we're hoping to get it more to be
recognition.
an official. Yeah. Um, basically we call it a boot camp, but basically it's a way to introduce League to people who hasn't played the game before and to teach them how to play the game correctly while providing a positive and toxic-free environment.
Huh.
And so I'm one of the
Toxic free and league? That's a surprise.
I
well,
Now see
it's
you're
been working
talking to
out actually.
you're also Sam's someone who I imagine play LOL. I am somebody who has never played LOL, never has been interested, and nothing will ever convince me to play LOL. I'm sorry.
That's totally
I'm
fine.
the same way about any MOBA, honestly.
We got you to play Heroes of the Storm, didn't you?
I played HOTS like
Twice for the
twice.
free skins.
For the free skins,
It's
yeah.
for Overwatch.
Yeah, and everyone
So
bitched about that event, and I love that event because it got new people into Overwatch. And then because so many people cried about it, they just added those skins into Overwatch. Like, oh, you can just earn them in regular loot boxes now. And I was so furious. And every one of my friends who played HOTS was just like, you're saying I had to play like 50 games of that bullshit and now it's in like a regular loot box? Screw you. And it's like, but it was a fun, we had fun. And it's like, no, it was annoying. It's like, that's not nice. I like HOTS.
It wasn't annoying. I mean, we were fighting against bots, so it couldn't have been,
I think
you
we
know,
I think we played against some people.
I don't know. It was too
I
far back for me to remember.
yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's hard for me to recall if we have played with Sam.
I'm
I don't
pretty
think I
sure we
did.
only played against AI.
Yeah, with me it's a 50-50. Like if it's a character I don't know because I'm the guy that wants to learn every character, I'm I'll play like say what's a character I don't like? Sylvanas. She's like a long-range archer. I don't like playing her. I'll play her against AI, but then when you give me Varian, which is like a close-range brawler character that has like reflect abilities, I will freaking main him play people in like high end stat pools with that character. But you put like me as Sylvanas in one of those situations, it's like, no, sorry fam, I'm dead. I can't. But what's your Brandon, what's your current like highest rank
In League.
in LoL?
Actually, last night I
And
just hit Silver
explain to
3.
us what the equivalent is for people who don't know, including myself.
So equivalent is in reference to what exactly?
Just like is it top 5%?
Oh no, 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 not even close. This is my first ranked season anyway.
Oh, okay.
But I will explain how the rankings system works. So, there are currently one, two, three, four. I want to say seven tiers. So you've got iron, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and then from diamond you have master, grandmaster, and challenger.
So
So it's
you
actually
want
nine.
challenger.
Well, eventually, but that won't happen
Challenger
until
is
like
like
2 or
Overwatch top 500.
Yeah.
yeah. Essentially, Challenger is 0.39% of the league population,
Yeah,
which is
that's like top
very
500
tiny.
numbers. So what are you now?
Well, this is my first season, so I'm current. I just hit Silver 3 last night.
Oh, okay.
Um,
You're climbing.
Do you
the
start
season,
from the bottom?
Yeah, do you start from the bottom, work your way up?
no. So when
So
you do rank for the first time, you actually do what's called placements.
yeah, so it's like
And
Overwatch where you place.
It's familiar.
Yeah.
correct. So you'll have placements, and it'll place you anywhere between. It also depends on what your previous ranking was. So I
Because you're
attempt.
arriving so late to the party, they're treating you like a newer player.
Yeah, essentially. So
Yeah. That
the
happens
end
to
of
a lot of
last.
Overwatch players anymore. They'll start in like high silver, low gold.
Right. So when got back, so actually when I first attempted the season, it wasn't too long when I just got back into the game after taking a hiatus from it. So I placed in, I think I was like bronze 3 at the time. And so it was near the end of last season, the start of this season, I decided I was going to try and learn the game and take the game more seriously. So I climbed all the way from bronze 3 to now silver 3, which is a whole quote unquote elo, right? And my ultimate goal, which I won't really achieve this year because of my schedule and how many and of the number of games I would need to play.
Oh, of
Um,
course.
but I would eventually like to make it. My initial goal was to make it to plat this season, but I most likely probably just nearly hit gold.
Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately, probably in like 2 or 3 years, I would like to hit at least masters.
Yeah, that's like with me in Overwatch. I've never missed a competitive season in Overwatch. And I notice with like deathmatch game modes where it's like me or like me and two or three other people, I get like diamond or high platinum or that. But then when I do the regular mode, I'm always like high gold, low plat. And I think it's just because it's an account that's like what at this point 6 years old And in the first season, when I had a really crappy PC, I was bronze. I'll admit it, I was bronze. But as I upgraded my PC and actually got better, I got to the point where it's like, now I'm silver, now I'm gold, now I'm platinum. And I'm getting to that point where it's like, now I'm diamond. And it's like in some game modes, like I said, deathmatch, I'll solo deathmatch like free for all matches as just Doomfist and I'll never switch and I get like diamond. And then if I wanted masters, I would literally have to play the game on a daily basis. And it's just that thing that's like, if I hit masters, I'm just gonna fall back out of masters because I'm not gonna play deathmatch on a daily basis.
Correct. And there's also a at least I don't know if there's an Overwatch, but I know for League there's a decay system in place. So once you hit I believe it's Masters or Diamond, if you don't play for a certain amount of time,
Yep,
it'll slowly
that's I actually
yeah,
said it. It's you
Yeah.
have to play a game a day.
right.
Yeah, that's kind of why I fell out of Overwatch comps because of the delay or the decay.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I placed low masters, but then I just got bored of Overwatch competitive, and so I just drifted down to diamond.
Yeah, and also it's that thing where you have to keep up with it all the time
Mm-hmm.
because like with Eric and Jemmy or say for instance with you, you'll come back to Overwatch after not playing for like 6 months and what will end up happening is that oh, dude, they changed Doomfist's kit, and it's like, oh yeah, you want to see me beat the crap out of you now as Doomfist? I'll destroy any character. The only character I have a remote problem with is Zarya, and that's like baiting out bubbles, and McCree is specifically a counter to Doomfist. Those are the only like I can consistently fight 30 of the 32 characters in Overwatch. The only characters that give me trouble are McCree's and Zarya's.
Fair
Honestly,
enough.
not the characters I was expecting you to say.
What did you think I was gonna
But
say?
then again, I haven't played Overwatch in like, I don't know, a year.
Well, also McCree, he's been eating a lot of cake lately, and he has 125 HP, which means I can fully fit him into the wall.
225?
Yeah, 225. Sorry, he has 225 HP, which means if I fully fist him into the wall, he will die. But if I fully fist him into the wall and not fully, like 90%, if I just
If you
miss,
half-ass it, yeah.
yeah, he'll walk out of it with like a good 100 HP. Yeah, McCree, he needs to get changed a little bit, and they are changing him for Overwatch 2, but it's just the thing we gotta wait for that. So yeah,
Who knows when Overwatch 2 will come out?
we have a time period. It's from April 2022 to June 2022. That's the time period. They will not give us an official release date until they can 100% confirm it. They don't want to say a release date and be like, oh, we have to delay it 6 weeks. You know,
Have another cyberpunk situation.
dude, don't even. That was actually gonna be a topic I was gonna have, like games that were overhyped to hell. But I didn't want like nothing but game talk. But anywho, we do have topics. We each picked a topic, and then also I have a random topic generator. Which when we get to that segment, I'll click it and it'll give us a random topic to talk about. If I think it gives us 12, and we'll pick one of the 12.
Hopefully it's Hot Wings.
Wait, okay. Um, but our first topic, Sam brought to us. So go ahead, Sam.
Okay, so the other day I came across this tournament poll that IGN had put up. It was a best video game of all time bracket, and the response for it was interesting to say the least. Mostly because of how they had set up the bracket and the very basis of it itself. I mean, how do you compare two games to each other and say one is better than the other when they were released 20 years apart and aren't even in the same genre?
I, I
How do you decide?
I pulled up the article for us. So in the cut audio tab, Brandon, if you wanted to look at the article, you can.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it here.
But how do you decide which is the better game between Super Metroid and Apex Legends?
Oh, this is a huge bracket. Holy crap! How many games were in
How do
this?
32, I think.
That it looks like more than that. Holy crap!
If I look
I
close
think
enough,
that's 128.
maybe. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's a lot of games. That's a good question. I guess what would probably
Well, let's start with
hit
the winner instead of looking at all the losers. But
It's 64 games.
64. Okay. But you cannot. It's like comparing apples to oranges. They have. I'm just looking down this list. They have Grand Theft Auto versus Mario Kart. It's like those are two completely different games attending to two completely different crowds. Now, if it was like Mario Kart versus Crash Bandicoot Racing, that's an actual poll I will want to see. But when it's GTA versus Mario Kart, that's two entirely different demographics.
World of Warcraft versus Fortnite.
It,
Chrono Trigger
uh,
versus Burnout 3 Takedown.
yeah, like we're not gonna read them all.
Most people that have seen this poll, I bet haven't even played Chrono Trigger, and that's including me.
I've never played Chrono Trigger, but I've always had
I
interest
know
in it.
without a doubt it's a good game. If I ever had a copy, I'd probably.
Now
I
I
mean,
have
no, I
had
wouldn't play it.
Burnout
I don't really
3
like
Takedown.
JRPGs.
I have had Burnout 3 Takedown. Burnout 3 Takedown was really good. I grew up playing that game. But let's
I
start
didn't
with
play Takedown. I played Revenge.
the winner and
Mhm.
what it was up against. So
God of War.
God of War
The newest
2018.
one?
Yep, that's the Norse one.
Hmm.
I will say it is a very good game, but not the best video game of all time. My opinion on like best video game of all time probably won't even be like some people's like, oh, this is the best video game. It's more like sentimental value. Like for me, I would say Super Mario World, Jack and Daxter, Spyro. Like those would probably be like my top 3, and all 3 of those have very sentimental reasons. Super Mario World was like my first video game. I grew up playing on my aunt. My aunt gave my mother a Super Nintendo and like, here, I don't need this. And I grew up playing like Super Mario World, Super Mario All-Stars, the original Mario Kart, the Donkey Kong Country, like all those. I grew up on those games. Jack and Dexter was the first video game I ever 100% completed, and the first video game I bought with my own money. I remember getting money from my grandma and my mom and I think my dad, and I went to a Walmart that we lived by, and I saw this game, knew nothing about it, but I saw the little orange creature that was Daxter. And I'm like, I want that game, and I 100%ed it, and I loved it. And then,
It's just one of those games where you just look at it and you just know.
yeah, it's like, look at that guy, he looks awesome. And then like, what Spyro I have a very fond video game memory of. My dad bought a PS1 for himself. It wasn't our PS1. But I remember whenever he would see like a really cheap game or that, he would pick it up. So he would get like Crash Bandicoot for himself or he would get
Mhm.
Spyro. I remember my mom, I don't even remember it that well because I was so little. But I remember sitting on my mom's lap as a little kid and I would like be there holding the controller, but my mom was playing Spyro. And I grew up like, look at the purple dragon. And I would be like, yay, I did it. But in reality, it was my mom.
I kind of did that with my brother a couple of times. Gave him an unplugged controller to give him the idea he was playing. But then again, he was so young, he didn't know the difference.
Yeah. How
It's
about
something that, a lot of people do with really young siblings.
how about your like best video games of all time? Like give us 3. and some
The
reasons.
question of what is the best video game of all time is such a broad and general question that
Yeah,
I would not be able to give you a
you
straight answer.
you
No
cannot.
matter how long I think about this, my answer always changes.
Yeah, that's the
Right
same with
now,
me.
if I want to say what the best video game of all time is, it's Team Fortress 2.
I
There will never be another game like Team Fortress 2.
I
It
I don't know why,
mixed
but I knew you would fucking say that.
it's it's such a unique experience of community mixed with gameplay and fashion and interaction. There will never be another game that has the same level of non-combat interactions. There are entire servers dedicated to just being friendly, doing like emotes and showing off your style and all that
But
crap.
but Sam, didn't you hear the more recent news report? Ga-
Oh,
Ga-
on what?
Gabe Newell learned to count to 3.
And where did you hear this?
Uh, his math teacher.
Oh, you know Gabe Newell's math teacher, huh? Then what's his name?
Uh, Gabe Newell.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, continue.
I mean, Team Fortress 2 left an impression on the internet that will be remembered for the rest of this generation, if not longer.
I agree on that, considering I'm someone who literally spent maybe a half hour in TF2 and just was like, it's not my cup of tea. But every time I see those characters, it's like, I know what this is.
They're iconic.
It's iconic, yeah.
I mean, there aren't many games you can identify a character
Who's
from their
wearing a
silhouette.
who's wearing a fire what is it that the flamethrower person wears?
A gas mask?
Yeah. It's not something where it's like you do not know the character's face, you do not know much about the character's lore, but you can completely identify who and what that character is just by looking at its face.
Exactly.
Yeah. How about you, Brandon? And I swear to God, if you say lol.
Well, it's not the
Another day of thanking
best
God
game
for
of
not
it,
making
but
me a
it is
fan
a
of League of
very good
Legends.
game.
Can you say that again,
But
Brandon?
no, I said it is certainly a very good game, but I wouldn't call it the best game of all time. Um,
Which
but
is
it does have a very good value. Um, I personally do not have a personal uh top game of all time, mainly due to the fact that I don't really, as much as I've played games, I've never had the opportunity to finish as many games as I've played.
Yeah,
So
that's understandable. I'm a
the
I
guy.
only
relate.
game, the one game I've only almost nearly completed so far was the first of the Batman Arkham series.
Dude, that
Um,
game's hard. All the Riddler trophies, like that's freaking hell.
well, it was the first one, so it wasn't really as complex as the
Oh,
other two.
there was still like 100 and something Riddler trophies. The third one has something like what, 500?
Probably, I have yet to even start that one yet.
Ugh.
But no, I have a couple of good games that I've played nearly to completion. As far as story wise, I have completed the recent Star Wars game.
Fallen Order?
I believe it's Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Um,
I got it. I still
I
haven't played it.
I've played it through. There's actually now a replay option on it. Where
Like New
I
Game
think it's
Plus.
in a way, yes. So
Yeah, that's good.
I was th- I was st- had started to do a new one and try to beat it on the hardest difficulty. But haven't really gotten to that around to
Okay.
that yet. Um, Another game I've nearly completed was Assassin's Creed 3.
Dude,
I got
that
to the epilogue, and
uh
then I couldn't finish the game because it kept the game bugged on the puzzles, the
wait, the
underground
game
puzzle.
bugged? That
Yeah, so there's
sucks.
this one part where you have to like match the light symbols from the lantern onto the door, but I couldn't see any of the four icons. I didn't know what the pattern. Like I knew what the pattern was, but I couldn't see how many icons was there, so I couldn't even complete the puzzle.
See, Assassin's Creed 3 was the first Assassin's Creed game for me. There was a bundle that it was roughly when the PS4 was coming out. And with Sony, I usually wait till the tail end of its console generation to pick up a Sony system. I usually pick up Nintendo like near launch, not on launch. But
Mhm.
I got Assassin's Creed 3 with my PS3 and I played the fucking hell out of that one just cuz I was so like I've always been fascinated with like like the wars we've been a part of, like the Revolutionary War and that. Like if you give me a war that's like the War of France and
The War of
Spain.
1812.
Well, that was an
Yeah.
America was involved in that. American was involved in that with Sam. But I'm saying if you give me a war situation where it's like France versus Italy or something, like I have no interest
Yeah.
unless if
Like
we became involved at some point.
like what you call it? Unity, which I believe was set during the French Revolution.
Yeah, like I know next to nothing about the French Revolution, but it's like the American Revolution. It's like, dude, I know a lot of shit about that.
Yeah, that's what made me hype about it when it was first announced
Don't
too.
get me wrong, I want to know more about the French Revolution, but it's just that thing that it's never piqued my interest like the American Revolution.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Um, but I haven't had the opportunity yet, and I'm still working on that and on the side to try to finish games that I've owned to see what games I would say I would put at the top of my list.
Yeah. Now, when you say finish them, you just mean like finish the campaign or 100% it?
100%. I
See,
prefer 100% in games because the
that's
story is fine, but it's all to me. It's all about playability.
that's me too, and I have to get that mindset on my head. Um, I started streaming Ghost of Tsushima when it came out, and I was super hyped for that game. But the thing is after playing it for upwards of 30 hours and only 100%ing the first area and then starting the second area, I got burnt out and I just never finished it. And it's that thing that's like,
Yeah.
I love the game. I want to continue playing it, but it's that thing that's like, it's just in me that it's like, I'm already in this area. I want to walk around and just 100% this area. So it has that
See,
nice green check mark that's like, you 100%ed this area. And it's like, yay, I can now leave this room.
so generally, when I 100% of games, what I usually do is I'll focus on the story first, but I'll look for little missions on the side as long
Yeah,
as it doesn't stray too far from the main
that's what
story.
I gotta do. I gotta do that.
Yeah,
And
that's what
then after I
usually
finish the
throws me
game, I'll
off
go
from
back and
single player games.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, I literally 100%ed the first section before I moved on to the second section. I was marginally overpowered for the boss fight, so it wasn't too hard. It was a little hard, but it wasn't too hard. But then once I got into the second area was so much bigger than the first area, I got burnt out really quick once I got into the second area.
understandable.
Because the first area is more or less like the tutorial area, and then the second area is just like massive.
See, that's why I play online live service games because it's
Uh,
impossible to 100% them. If you can
uh,
never complete it, you can never get burnt out.
I mean, no, that's a
I mean,
lie.
how do you 100% a game like Splitgate Arena Warfare?
You can't, but you can
You
get
can't. You can just keep playing.
you can get burnt out from it though.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Splitgate, I just recently
Oh
started
god.
playing it a day ago.
Oh god.
It's very interesting. Very interesting.
Is it gonna be the fucking dwarves in space situation again with Doc?
Mm,
Come on, God. Come
mm,
on, Charles.
I mean, it
Play
is
this
free to play.
game. Play this
It's free and it's
game.
fun, but
No,
you
I
don't
don't
necessarily have
need
to play
I
it if you
don't
want
need
to.
more games. I don't need more games. You know what? I will say this with confidence because I do not care. I will name my first daughter Samus Aran. I spent over $100 on the big collector's box for Metroid Dread, and I will cherish that thing till I die. I love Metroid to death, but it's just that thing that's like, I know I'm gonna binge play that game. I'm gonna treat that game like I did Death Stranding, and I'm gonna play like 80 hours of it within a week. But it's just that thing that's like, there's some games like Metroid and Monkey Ball, and I'll even say Diablo 2, where it's like I'm excited for that game, and I know it's gonna be like a buy, sit down, play experience. But if they like, the one thing I've been getting really burned out with is stuff like Apex and Fortnite, and what else is there's so many games where it's like, buy new expansion, new story, or pl-
It's the start of the new season. Follow
battle
the new
battle
story
pass,
expansion.
seasonal
Collect
events.
treasure packs to progress the comic.
Yeah, it's like, I'm good. I'm good. Like, I will play the battle pass thingy. That's fine. It's literally what, $10 for what, 4 months of content, and you get some cool skins and that. Okay, that's not bad. But then when it's like, here's an event and you can only get Lifeline's heirloom in it, it's like the only reason I even participated in the Halloween event and got all those items was because I got Lifeline's heirloom, because at the time Lifeline was my most favorite hero. And now it's that thing that's like, I give no fricks about heirlooms and that. I've been playing the game and not buying loot boxes, just sitting on the boxes when I get them, and when a new season starts, I'll open them. I got it. I recently got another thing of heirloom shards, so I can make another heirloom. But it's that thing that's like, I there's no heroes that have heirlooms right now that I want. So what's happening is that I'm just sitting on the heirlooms, and I'm like, I'm waiting for Watson. And Eric's like, Watson's a stupid hero. Why would you get her? And it's like, I know I hate playing her too, but I love Watson. Watson is literally my favorite character. Her personality with all the punny little jokes about electricity is great. But it's just the thing that's like, I like her so much that I want her heirloom. It's not even a thing. Like, when I got Wraith's heirloom randomly when I first started playing the game, I know a lot of people were like, dude, you got Wraith's heirloom, and I'm so jealous. But it was that thing that's like, I hate
I didn't want this.
I hate Wraith. Wraith is like my least played character, and I have her heirloom. That's like me having Widowmaker's golden gun.
I would die for Pathfinder, but I would be lying if I said Watson, she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, it's and Sam, I know you're a big Pathfinder fan. Would you spend upwards of $150 on getting Pathfinder's heirloom, but with the caveat of you had to have every skin from the Christmas event?
Yeah, no.
I did that for Lifeline,
I'm
and I
past.
regret it. I did that for
I
Lifeline, and I regret it.
Right.
I keep telling myself I'm past. I'm past video game microtransactions.
I don't even want to think about how much I spent on Fortnite. I look
The
at my
last time
I look at my locker in Fortnite from time to time when Eric gets me to play, and I just want to vomit sometimes.
the last time I spent more than $100 at a time on a video game was to get the Mesa Prime pack.
Yeah.
In Warframe.
Do you still use it?
I don't play Warframe anymore.
Exactly. And then what happens if Warframe servers go down? That's also my mindset. Like, Heroes of the Storm isn't that popular. I blew so much money in Heroes of the Storm. What happens when Heroes of the Storm goes down?
I love the hell out of Splitgate, but I actually have not spent a single penny on it.
And don't. If they release like a pack where you get a cool skin and a, like, I do like and promote the packs where it's like, spend $20 and get like 8 skins and $10 in in-game currency. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine with that stuff. But when it's like, here's its skin, it might not come back in the shop ever again. It's like, no, screw you. Like, if I go into Apex right now as a new player, they have a pack that gets you every character for like $30. As somebody, it's like, hey, play this game. It's free to play. If you enjoy it, great. Buy this pack for $30, get you every character. And I'm not gonna tell you to spend another freaking penny on this game. Like literally, it's like you spend 50 hours in the game. If you enjoy playing the base game, buy the pack for $30. Like is that like something where it's like, no, don't do it, or like, yeah, it makes sense, you know?
I heard this piece of advice that said $1 should equate to 1 hour of enjoyment from a video game. At the very least.
Yeah. I mean, hell, you spend how much to go to a movie theater for 2 hours? You spend like $10 for 2 hours. So yeah. I mean, I would say that that is a fact. Like for every dollar spent, it's like if like I do regret spending money on Overwatch. I like any game with microtransactions. I regret. I wish I can go back to my past self and just be like, dude, don't buy loot boxes because Sam.
But I need.
Yeah, that's me. I don't need it. I need it. The literal SpongeBob meme. But Sam, I don't know if you know, I have not opened a single loot box in Overwatch. And I get every item just by passively playing. Do you want to know how many loot boxes I'm sitting on?
If I were to wager a random guess, I'd say at least 300.
More.
Really? 1,000?
Less. Okay. You went from
He's
3.
not that hard in the
You,
face. Jesus.
you went 300 all the way up to 1,000. I mean,
Okay, I don't know anything.
I have over 700 loot boxes.
My
Hey, I was
God.
closer with my second guess than my first.
True, actually.
I have over 700 loot boxes. I recently got my little brothers into Overwatch. I so wish I can be like, here's 350 loot boxes, here's 350 loot boxes. Open them, have as much fun as you want. But I can't.
I wish I could do that in Destiny.
Just like give them to your family members or friends, be like, I don't need them. And they'll be appreciated of it.
In Destiny, it's less about loot boxes and more about specific pieces of gear I wish I could give to people.
Yeah, that's my same thing with Fortnite Save the
'Cause,
World.
like,
There's some gear I want in that I wish like.
with Fortnite, it's different because you can craft a weapon and then literally drop it for someone.
Yeah, but I don't want to be doing that for everyone every fucking hour. Oh, I broke my level 33 weapon. Dude, we're playing a level 8 mission. Don't waste the level 33 weapon unless if it's like an absolute you need to. He's like, oh, I've been exclusively using this level 33 weapon. It's like, dude, we're playing in a level 5 zone. You're using a level 33 weapon. Don't. Like, I can't craft this gun a million times. I can only craft it like half a million times.
I kind of had the same feeling playing
And
with
all,
one of my friends in Destiny. He was all up in arms about his gear power, but the thing about gear power in Destiny is that it only matters in a certain like select few activities.
yeah, when you're
If
in
it
a
doesn't tell you,
level
if
that
it doesn't
high.
tell you, if it doesn't tell you what gear power is required, then the required gear power is the very minimum. And so this person I was playing with was so up in arms about his gear power. He was trying to trying to equip the highest power stuff that he had. There's no durability or anything, but it still costs
So it doesn't wear away.
it still costs resources to get existing gear up to a higher power.
Oh yeah, that's the same
The way
thing
you
with any
upgrade
game.
the way you upgrade weapons and armor is you infuse a lower power weapon or armor, consuming a higher power to make that piece of gear that you want to upgrade the same power as that one you're consuming.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. It makes sense.
But it costs a certain resource to do that, and it's kind of expensive to do it all the time.
Yeah, that is something with a few things I do where it's like, hey, it's going to be a lot of like points to like there's a pistol I have in Fortnite where it's like it's my favorite pistol but I upgraded it so high that it's now like a shadow weapon. When that pistol breaks, I cannot make another one of those like ever. Like ever.
Hmm.
And it's that thing that's like I love
Yeah,
this
I
pistol. I don't want it
I
to
remember
break.
how it was.
Yeah. But you know what? We actually went off topic, but it's perfectly fine. But basically we all agree that you can't just like throw Super Mario Bros against Grand Theft Auto 5 and tell the world like that's a fair fight, right?
Yeah, they put Fable 2 against Minecraft.
Yeah,
The,
it's
They put
the
definitely
they put Tetris against Rock Band.
whoever made this list
please
literally
tell me that
just
Tetris one.
Tetris had to have,
The,
right?
he they Google searched
Where
good video games and then picked the first
yeah,
64.
someone went around the office and went like, "Hey, what's some of your favorite video games?" Because it's like best video games of all time. Inside is here. I will not doubt that Inside is a good game. Is it amongst the best video games of all time? That is very
I've never heard
arguable.
anyone say that.
Yeah, I will. That is very arguable.
I've never gotten the impression that Inside was like better than every other.
Assassin's
I
Creed.
I have no doubts that Inside is a good game, but it's not the best game. You play
Assassin's
it once
Creed
and you're done.
Black Flag. Is Assassin's Creed Black Flag considered the best Assassin's Creed?
I could consider it
No.
the best Assassin's Creed,
Yeah, but it's like not
but
even but
is
the
it
thing
better than
is the
Civ 4?
yeah, and it's now if you put Civ 4 against StarCraft, that's a good argument slash conversation piece cuz StarCraft and Civ 4 both are RTSs.
Civ is a turn-based.
I thought it was more of an RTS.
No, it's
Civilization has always
turn-based.
been turn-based.
Huh. Okay. But see that's like a good conversation. Like StarCraft, that's an RTS, or Civ, that's a turn-based strategy. They're both like massive army strategy games, correct? Civ's
Yes.
just turn-based.
Yeah,
Well,
Or am I
Civ
thinking
is
Age of
different.
Empires? Am I thinking Age of Empires?
Age of Empires is an RTS.
That's yep. I'm thinking Age of
Mm,
Empires.
okay, that makes more sense.
Yep.
Yeah,
Um.
it's really weird because it's like you have to compare certain aspects of the game in order to make that argument, but there isn't very much
And
comparison.
that's
Like what playability,
yeah.
uh,
And it's like
memory,
some of these weren't even
things like
available
that.
to
You
the
know?
same platform. They put God of War, its first game it was up against is against StarCraft. StarCraft was a PC only game and that was released in 96, and God of War, which was released in 2018, was a PS4 exclusive. Like, at least put it against, like, Uncharted 4 or, like, other games within its same bracket. Like, you need to do a bracket where it's, like, exclusively PlayStation games and then pit, like, the best of the best of the PlayStation games against, like, the best of the PC game and have like the best of the best Xbox game versus the best of the best Nintendo game. You know what I mean? And then you also got to throw in Sega and like so many other companies where it's like here's Ubisoft who does a game but it releases on everything. So you can't even say like best of the best of like PlayStation cuz that's so like I'm
You
going to
have you have games that are only on PlayStation and you have games that are on multiple platforms.
yeah, and it's like you cannot put I'm looking here like Civ versus Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed's on like every platform and Civ is only like on PC. I know more recently it's on Xbox, but it's that thing that's like when you put Assassin's Creed against Civ, more people are going to be more favorable towards Assassin's Creed. And also it's also the situation of the game. BioShock versus Overwatch. I hear good things about BioShock. I like BioShock. BioShock looks cool. I will say Overwatch 9 out of 10 times because it's a game I love. I'm not gonna poo-poo on BioShock though. BioShock's a great game too. Even though I never played it, if someone's going to be like, "But that's my favorite game." It's like that's understandable. You have a
Yeah.
valid point, but you can't just poo-poo on my opinion. We both have a valid argument on both sides. It's not I'm right and you're wrong. BioShock's the better game. It's no, they're both amazing games, and we should just be happy about the games that are even on this list. And it is kind of like I would say a little elitist here, looking here too, because a lot of games do look like just like here's Sims 3 versus Portal 2. Is Sims 3 even the most favored Sims game? I thought Sims 2 was like the best of the Sims games.
That's what I
I
thought
think
so too.
I thought Sims 2 was like the highest rated one.
Even I played Sims 2, and I
I
never
had
play The
I had
Sims.
an ex in like not even high school, like middle school, who I would go over her house and we would play Wii games together. And I remember her mom would sit on the computer and play Sims all the time. And she
My
had like
siblings would hog computers, Xboxes to play The Sims for hours on end.
yeah, and it's just the thing that's like I thought the Sim like I feel like they said Sims 2 because I not Sims 2, Sims 3 cuz is Sims 3 the most recent one?
no Sims 4, but
It's
Sims
they're
3
at 4
is
now.
the most. It
Yeah.
is the Sims 4, which is the most recent one, and that one didn't even do as well as Sims 3. Apparently, Sims 3 is the most most well received. After that is the Sims 2.
Okay, I thought Sims 2 was more well received.
I wouldn't think Sims
Yeah.
2,
But then they
because I know
like
Sims 3
here's
had a lot
another
of
one.
love.
I'm looking at this list. Journey versus Dishonored. Dishonored is a huge AAA published game made by what is it? Arcane Studios, which is part of Bethesda. Yeah, big AAA company versus Journey, which I believe was made by a small team of like 20 people. You can't compare the two.
Journey is like as indie as a game like Hyper Light Drifter.
Cave Story. It actually is
To be
Undertale on here.
fair,
Is
we have
Undertale
to.
fucking on here?
No, it's not.
To be fair,
But
though,
it's like
you have to
comparing
realize that
Undertale to like
Dark Souls.
yeah, you have a massive company versus like literally one dude.
But keep in mind, you also have to take into effect that not everyone knows half some of these games. Like I've never heard of Journey,
Yeah,
so
and
I have
it's a
no idea what
small
some of
indie
these games.
game. Yes, it is very praised, but it is not like like I will say, Brandon, if you see Journey really cheap, yeah, go get it.
That leads me into another argument that some of the people in the comments on this
I don't even
brought
want
up.
to get into the comments, but yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to get into any arguments or anything about what people are saying on Twitter, but a lot of people are bringing up recency bias. Like a lot of the newer games on
Yeah,
this
there
bracket are
are
doing
more
a lot
people.
better. I mean, most of the people that see this bracket have never played Chrono Trigger, Knights of the Old Republic, the original Red Dead, Fable 2.
Yeah, a lot of these
When they say
games
Doom, I don't know if they mean Doom 2016 or the original version
they just say
on
Doom
DOS.
and people will
Just
just be
says
like
Doom.
Doom. That's the same thing with
I
Final
don't
Fantasy
think
7. They can say Final
most of the
Fantasy 7
people.
and be like the old one or the new one.
I'm pretty sure most of the people that have seen this
This
bracket
is Zoomers,
have.
not played
Not
most of them.
necessarily Zoomers, but they're more recent
What?
Yeah.
gamers to where they're not. They've never
Yeah.
really had the opportunity to play the classics, so they're naturally going to gravitate more towards more recognizable names.
Like I'll look
And I'm
this
only
up
bringing
now.
up those. And I'm only bringing up those games because I've personally never played those games. I've never played Dishonored. I've never played GoldenEye 007. I've never played Burnout 3.
I'm
Those are
looking
the
it up
games
now.
looking for like
Burnout 3. Do you want to know when Burnout 3 came out?
probably in
I
the
guessing
early 2000s.
2004.
Oh my god, you got it right. What day and what month?
No, we're not going that far.
June 6th.
September 8th. Okay. It has only been on PS2 and the original Xbox. It has never been ported to anything else.
It
So
was ported to Xbox 360.
No, that it wasn't. It was the disc from Xbox can get put into three. You gotta remember, Xbox does that backwards compatibility shit. So if you do have that old game disc from 2004, you can put that in your Xbox Series X and work that thing. And it's that thing that's like, as a younger kid, who is going to track down a disc from 2004 and be like, I'm gonna play this game because it was on the greatest games of all, the best games of all time list. It's like they're
Yes,
not.
and you just
They're
get a PlayStation 2 real quick.
yeah. Let me go. And with PlayStation, you can't even do that. With PlayStation 2, you can't put any of those games in a PS3. With PS3, you can't put any of those games in a PS4. Now, with PS5, you can put PS4 games in it, but that's because after so many people yelling at Sony to frickin' do it. That's like, I do not know why the Wii U did not have GameCube capability. That was, I know it was a save money tactic, but it was a thing that's like, they made adapters for the 64 to put NES cartridges in the 64 along with Super NES cartridges in it. Why couldn't you just slide a disc in that's slightly smaller? Hell, the Wii let you play the GameCube discs, and the Wii U let you play Wii discs. Why
That
couldn't?
actually that actually reminded me of something. Um, my family got a copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee from GameStop. It was a used copy,
And you
and it
thought you
had the
can put it in the
strangest.
Wii U?
No, it was the strangest thing about it. When we tried to put the disc into our GameCube, it wouldn't work. But when we put the disc into our Wii, it worked. The game only ran on our Wii and not the GameCube.
I actually know why.
Why would
It's
it do that?
it's not a real one.
It's not a real.
Nope, it's fake.
Is that a genuine
No,
GameCube
it's a
copy?
fake melee disc. That's what it is.
Well, it was Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Yep.
I didn't play it for long.
That was a
It's not
trick.
like it's shattered.
That was an old trick that a lot of people used back in the day, where um with the next system, if it had capabilities to play the previous system, that's actually why Sony never allowed backwards compatibility after PS2. Because when the PS2 came out, there was so much hacking of the PS2, they hacked it to a point that literally you can put a thumbstick in with all the game code from any PS1 game, and you can play any PS1 game by putting in a blank PS2 disc, like I believe like a blank DVD. You can put it into your PS2 and it will play any PS1 disc because it's reading it off of a USB stick, and it's tricking the system thinking it's a disc. You know what I mean?
Because the data's there.
Yeah, the data's there. It isn't reading it from the disk, so it's like, oh, the data's somewhere else, and its first thought is, let's check USB port 1. Yeah, the data's right there. And then it starts running the data. And that is a reason why Sony does not do backwards compatibility, because they are very, as any company should, because you're losing. You got to think about that. How much money is every single PlayStation 1 disc when the PS2 came out? That's a
Hundreds of
lot.
dollars.
Thousands. It's thousands of dollars. Look at the new Xbox. They hacked it so it runs like freaking 64 games off of like the Dolphin engine from PC, because all the new Xbox is a glorified PC. That's all it is. It's a PC meant for consumers. You can plug a mouse
Only
and
the only
key.
difference is
You can actually
the
plug a
operating system.
It's not even the operating system. It is Windows 10. The operating system is Windows 10. It's just a modified version for the Xbox.
I
Yep.
gotta be right back.
Yep. Anyway, um but yeah, like there are so many different games on this list that you can't compare them to. It's such a hard argument to have. It's like if you want to talk about like best Metroidvania, like that's a conversation you can get into because that's a specific genre. The same with like best racer, same for like best shooter or anything like that. It's like just any topic like that, you can go on and on about it. Well, since I think we are done with the best game of all time topic, Brandon, do you want to move on to your topic?
My topic was pretty general. It was just more of a what was your most prominent or significant summertime memory that either you went on or you would like to go visit? Something to get into the traveling mood, as I will actually be traveling in about 2 weeks
You
to
vacating?
for about 5 days, 4 days.
That's nice. Where are you going?
I'll be flying out to Miami
Oh
on the
yeah, yeah,
13th.
you were talking about that.
Yeah, I'm going with
A bunch of friends.
about
That's
six of
nice.
us, so seven total.
That's nice.
Yep, I'm going to sightsee and just kind of look around and hopefully have enjoy the weather down there and not get into anything crazy.
Another tsunami. No, tsunami season's like over, I think. So I think you're good in Florida.
I should hope so. I know last time I went to Florida it was years
Now,
ago.
see, I've
It went
I've
down.
never been to Florida.
Florida isn't a bad state.
I would like
There's
to
just a
visit.
lot of rain.
I would like to visit a lot of different states, but for me, preferably, I do want to stay living in the quote unquote Rust Belt. I want to stay
Mm,
where we have four seasons: winter, spring, fall, and summer.
understandable. Yeah. And Florida is interesting in that, at least where we went to years ago to a resort, every day it rained. Like, like there was always a period of time where you just like it just rains for like a half hour
That sucked.
every
Oh, but
day.
then it got like super sunny.
Yeah, and it gets super sunny, and it is humid outside.
Well, what time
So
of year
you're
did
just
you go?
it was during the summertime, the
Okay.
high school summertime.
Not like
Probably
spring?
say no,
Okay.
no. I want to say it was around June-ish
Okay. Because you know
or
what they
something.
say, May showers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
April showers bring May flowers,
Oh yeah.
but
Why am I thinking May showers? What the fuck?
May flowers, my friend, May flowers.
Dude, I
Actually,
was
no, I'm one myself.
I was just daydreaming the other day and not the other day, today, just like September. Wait, no, today's the first day of October. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's quite interesting when you realize that now we've only got 2 more months left of this year after this month, obviously. So
dude, don't even
two
talk
and
don't even talk to me. I still feel like it's like 2020.
oh no, same here, dude.
Dude,
Like I it's like,
especially
am
that
I
I
in
was on
2020 or 2021?
especially that I was unemployed for so long. It felt that whole year I
2020 was the best year to take off.
dude, I've been working consistently since I was 15. I when I lost my first job, I started working my second job like a week later. And when I lost my second job, which I held for 7 years, I was in the workforce for 10 years when I stopped working. When I lost my second job, I didn't work for a year. I was in such a depressing slump mood because it was the thing. I had nowhere to go. There were no restaurants, there were no movie theaters, there were no store. We didn't even have GameStop because if you remember, GameStop was considered a non-essential business, and you couldn't even go to a GameStop and buy games because they were considered a non-essential business. Same with like
Gotcha.
stuff like Best Buy and that. You would have had to went to a Walmart or a Target to go get a video game. And you know what was the worst part? The electronics sections would be entirely closed. And almost 9 out of 10 times, if you went there and be like, hey, I want to buy a video game, the employees that would be nearby would be like, no one's in the electronics department. You can't buy video games right now. It's a pandemic. You do not need a video game. Just like, I'm stuck at home with nothing to do. I just want the new Animal Crossing. Dude, Animal Crossing saved my life. I will admit that. Literally, when the pandemic got big, it's like, I just want Animal Crossing. And I literally played that game like every fucking day for like the first couple months. My family actually got me a gym membership. Did I mention that?
No, you did not.
Sam, I am buff.
That's the question: is has he?
I am swole.
What gym?
Planet Fitness. My family got me a membership for Planet Fitness. They saw I was it was like 3 months in. They saw I was in a slump. They saw me applying to jobs, doing interviews and everything. But it was just the thing, nothing was biting. And they're just like, you can't sit at home every day. And I'm like, I don't want to. And they're like, why don't we get you a gym membership and you start going to the gym? I started going to the gym like 3, 4 days a week, like every other day. I do not know how heavy I am for the sole fact that scales didn't go that high. I know that sounds bad.
Are you still that way?
No, I am not that way anymore.
Oh,
But
good.
scales, I didn't know this. Scales only go up to 400 pounds in like a doctor's office and that. So when you go
Mhm.
to the doctor's office, normally they'll tell you don't eat for 24 hours. We're gonna do blood work and that, so we need to make sure like your blood is just you and not like you ate a bunch of donuts and now it's like high in sugar, you know? So they have you go on the scale and the lady's like 100 pounds, no, 200 pounds, no, 300 pounds, no. And then she starts moving the little one, which is like a pound for each little tick, and she slides it all the way, and she just does 400 plus. I'm like, so how heavy do I weigh? And I ask her, and she's like, oh, we just put 400 plus because that's the highest a scale goes to. And it's like, you would think in today's society, like, yeah, there are more obese people, but you would think in today's society they would have a scale designed to just like read any weight. I wouldn't imagine it would be that hard. But I am not someone who fat shames or skinny shames or anything because I don't mind who you are. And that my family does the whole like, Charles, you gotta lose weight. You're fat. It's like, yeah, I know I'm fat. I know I need to lose some weight, but it's just I was never motivated to. When I didn't have a job, that was the thing that's like, you know what, I gotta go to the gym. So I started going on a gym every other day. I would go to the gym for like 3 hours. I in July before I started this new job, they're like, hey, you need a physical, and I'm like, oh, good, I'll do a physical, all that. I weighed 370 pounds. And it was that thing that's like, I weigh what? And they're like, you weigh 370. And I'm just there thinking to myself, like, can you read that back to me again? Like, you're not lying to me. I am 370. And it's like, yeah, you're 370. And it's like, I lost weight. And I don't know. I at least lost 30 pounds because I was 400 plus before. I used to be a lot more. So I will say, like, this quote unquote vacation is that I had from job. I worked on myself. I started eating a lot better. Um, I am very toned. I'm still a big guy. Don't get me wrong. I have a gut, but
Swole.
I'm still like I have like I can curl my arm and feel a muscle there. My legs. I did not skip leg day. I will say that. I
I'm
overdid.
just so thin, I don't have any other choice.
Well, see, because I am a
Any
heavier
less, and
guy.
I'd just be skin and bone.
I am a heavier guy. My legs are bigger and stronger because it has to deal with carrying me all the time. But I would do the leg reps and the arm reps and I would do all those. I I would never skip anything. I would go down my list, take a break, and I would do a few things on my list again. I didn't have to, because once I went through my list, it was like, that's my list. I was on every machine, did so many reps on each machine, and so many miles on each machine. I don't need to do it anymore. But with some of the machines, it's like, okay, I'll go back on the treadmill for another 5 miles. I'll go back on the leg lifts for another like 50 reps or something. And I would just listen to techno music the whole fucking time. Just like in the zone, and it's like Darude Sandstorm going, just
Music like that is. I love listening to music like that when I'm on the treadmill, because I started just. I don't exercise much, but I've started to walk a lap or
I,
so every other day
I fit in my
on the
clothes.
treadmill,
I fit in my
just to do a
clothes.
little, just to do a little bit.
Yeah. I fit in my clothes from when I was in high school. That was 10 years ago. I fit in my clothes from when I was in high school, and they're big on me. They're a little big on me. So I lost weight. I'm back to a state in which I am a lighter weight than when I was in high school. And I'm taller than when I was in high school too. I was like high fives in high school. I'm like 6'3" now. So,
Wow.
I also stopped drinking like soda and like sugary teas. You know the Mio waters?
I've never heard of that. No, is that
It's
like
it's like you get a cup of water and you put a few drops in it and you stir it and that's it.
Oh yeah.
It's called Mio. I've been doing that for like the past.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
I think I bought that once.
I've been
It's
doing
not something
that.
that I did consistently. It's something I did once. It
I've
was pretty
I've
good.
been drinking nothing but that for like 6 months. Different flavors, of course, but I don't even do the full dose. It's like, oh, 1 tablespoon for this big cup, and I'm like, that's too sweet. And it's like, it's just, I do it so it's a few drops, and it's like, it tastes like grape water. I like it, or it's like it tastes like lemony water. It's not like
Yeah.
full, like,
That's
and I
that's
love
the
it.
lovely thing about that kind of thing. It's to taste.
Yeah. French fries. Whenever I get well, I don't like. I'll go to a Burger King time to time. I will admit that. Um, I'll try if I can get a place where it's like, what's the word? Like Texas Roadhouse. They have like steak in that. Um, they'll sometimes ask you like, what do you want on your fries? And you can tell them like, I don't want salt or pepper. And they're like, okay. And because places like Burger King and that, they douse that shit in salt.
Yeah, I used to work at Burger King and a
Oh god.
Walmart. Yeah, there a lot of salt goes on those
Yeah.
fries. I think if you order your fries specifically without salt, they make a whole new batch
Oh,
because they salt whenever they make fries, they salt them by default.
yeah. They just do it like that.
They just do it because
Well,
whenever someone orders fries,
I learned something. My
they're salted.
brother my brother he worked at a McDonald's. I don't think he does anymore.
Hmm.
But at McDonald's, they just don't salt their fries. What they use on their fries is a 50-50 mix. It's 50% salt. Do you want to know what the other 50% is?
Water.
Monosodium glutamate?
Nope. Sugar.
Sugar.
Interesting.
Yep.
Sugar on their fries.
That
That doesn't sound good.
but do you like McDonald's French fries?
Sometimes they come out undercooked. I mean, they're all right.
But that's the thing. It's especially with little kids. They're like, "Ooh, a French fry. I like French fries." Oh, these French fries are really good. They're really good. They're really good. It's because there's sugar in it. That's what it is. And it's like you don't think of it like, oh yeah, it's McDonald's. It's a French fry. Yeah, it's a normal. Ooh, what's in this French fry? Sugar. Huh. Makes you think. Makes you think what they put in a lot of food. Most of it's for your
It's-
benefit, but sometimes with fast food companies, like you see they do some cheeky things.
They put a lot of sugar in the cheese, actually, and the ketchup.
For cheese?
Yeah, there's
But
sugar in the cheese. There's added sugar in the
ew,
ketchup.
that's gross. Now I would expect ketchup, but cheese? What? It's weird. See, my uncle, he's been raising chickens and that, and we get our eggs from him. They have been the best eggs I've ever had. And it's like, hey, you want some eggs? And he just goes straight to his chicken coop and he's like, here's a dozen. They were just laid this morning. And I'll have them the next morning. And I'm like, oh my god, these fucking eggs are the best. And it's like, yeah, they literally came out of the chicken's butt yesterday. He wants to get a goat.
Raised.
He wants to get a little goat, and he wants to like get it for milk. He's trying to
I used
live.
to have.
He's trying to live like a self-sufficient thing where it's like he does. He has eggs every day. He started making his own bread from scratch. It's like he's trying to do this thing where it's like I'm saving money by like living off of the land with like chicken. He has chickens, he has ducks. They won't let him get a goat right now, but he's fighting it. He wants that goat. I don't know what he'll name the goat, but
About, I say maybe 7 years ago, I used to live in this house that had a whole acre in its backyard, and we had a few chickens. So
nice.
we would take their eggs and then eat them. I mean,
Nice.
we never sold them, but we always had like
My uncle
almost
doesn't
an
sell his
abundance of
eggs.
eggs.
My
For as long as those chickens lived, we didn't have to buy eggs because we just had enough to eat.
Yeah. My uncle has 6 chickens, and he gives everyone who would ask eggs. Like we don't even ask, and he's just like, "Here's a dozen eggs,"
Yeah.
and they're the best eggs I've ever had. And they just live in his backyard. He's like, "I have a coop. They live in my backyard. My kids name the chickens. I have no idea what their names are, but the kids can tell them apart." He named them. His kids named them like Sugar and Snowball, and the ones what did they name the one Shadow or something. It's like I'm just like, oh, that's cute. And I asked my uncle the one time when we went over for a cookout. He's like, so which one's which? And he's like, I don't freaking know. Ask the kids. They're just chickens to me.
I would have laughed so hard if I found out one of them was named Dave.
No, they're all named like actual pet
Indeed.
names. But kids named them. Like they were named like Sugar and Snowball and Shadow, and I think one's named like I forget. It's like something that's brown. I'm trying to think. It's like a spice or something.
I get the point you're trying to make,
Yeah,
though.
like kids named him. It's not like he named them like Fred, Charlie, Chuck, Bill, and Frank. It's like it's like all little cutesy names. Yeah, but my vacation was yeah, I'll say that was a vacation to me. Like not working but still looking for a job. Um yeah, other than that, as a kid I went to Ocean City, Maryland, but that was such a distant memory. I love that. Like we went to Ocean City, Maryland once in my life and that was a great vacation. Other than that, while I was working with Sam's Club, Sam knows this cuz he went with me. I took a 10-day vacation and Sam came and visit from was it Nevada? You visited
Yeah,
from
Nevada.
Nevada
I flew all the way from Reno
to
to
Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania.
and we went to the Overwatch League Grand Finals, and I loved it. It
Uh-huh.
was great, other than it being entirely one-sided, but yeah, it was great. Um, Yeah, we went bowling, fair, movies, and especially considering I worked like at that point almost 10 years straight, it was something I needed because I was not the guy that's like, I'm taking a 2-day vacation and just waste vacation time. The reason why, and Sam, I'm pretty sure I told you this. The reason why I took a 10-day vacation, even though you were only over for like 5 days, was because I had so much paid time off accumulated. My boss forced me to take a vacation. you,
They
I,
mandated it.
Yeah, they literally mandated me, Charles, you have to pick a time to have vacation before the end of December, because if you do not take a vacation before the end of November, we have to force you to take a vacation before the end of December, and I am not making you take a vacation during Christmas. So they literally told me either you figure out when you want to go on vacation or you're getting an extra day off every week for the next 10 weeks. So I'm just like, okay, I'll take a 10-day vacation. And we planned it. We bought tickets. I love the event. I enjoyed the game. It was the second time I was in that stadium. I was in there for a Flyers game, and I was in there for San Francisco Shock versus Vancouver Titans, and it was a amazing experience. I loved it. I can't wait to do something like that again when Dorona has been defeated.
I still have pictures,
Oh, I have pictures too. Every time
not just from the stadium, the bowling game,
I try to
the
upload
selfies
those,
from the car. It was great.
Discord hates it when I try to upload that kind of stuff because it's like your powers are too powerful, your files are too powerful.
That damn 50 megabyte limit.
You know what? I even bought Nitro just to be like, can I upload this? And it's like, nah, you
Nope.
can't. It's too much. How about you, Sam? Vacation. What's a fun summer vacation, like vacation memory? Holiday. What's your favorite holiday memory from going on holiday?
Uh Actually, earlier this year I went with my family to Disney World again.
I like out Disney. I never been.
Disney World. Uh, on one of the last days, I think it was the last day I was at Disney World. We went to Magic Kingdom, and in one of the shops there was like this 1/5 scale Baymax plushie. It was big enough to wrap your whole arms around.
Oh wait, didn't you get it?
I did buy it,
Yeah.
and like I carried it around, and people were looking at me and going, "Ah, it's so adorable," and it just warmed my heart. It was so
Yeah.
good. It was so wholesome.
Did you make a custom lightsaber while you were there?
I don't think they were. I I
They
didn't.
might
I don't
they
even think
might
they
have
were
not have been
doing it.
doing it. Yeah.
I don't even think they were doing it because of pandemic.
Yeah. The thing is when you, if you go to, because I looked up the videos because I do want to make one of those the one day I will go to Disney World. The thing is
Mhm.
that they are so restrictive on like you pick a set and you get to pick like one or the other from a set, and it's like, can I get this one piece from the set and this one piece from the set and this one piece from the set? And they're like, no. And I'm like, but then it's not a custom lightsaber, is it then? And they're like, well, it's custom to a point because you're the one putting it together. It's just we're limiting you to one set. And I'm like, but every piece is interchangeable, is it not? And they're like, well, yes. And it's like, then I want to have the fang at the bottom of my lightsaber, but I want to have the dark side hilt. And it's like, you, you can't do that. And I'm like, ugh. And also, my favorite color is orange. Orange is not a lightsaber color that Disney what's the word, that Disney says exists, because since Disney owned Star Wars, they've been only sticking to like the movies. And like in the books there's people with like pink lightsabers, orange lightsabers. What's another color that's like hasn't been in TV? There has been yellow, there has been green and blue
I'm
and red,
trying to
of course.
think.
and purple. There was one person with purple, Mace Windu, and that was only because of Samuel L. Jackson being like, I want a purple lightsaber because I want to be able to pick myself out from the big fight scene with every other person with a blue and green lightsaber. And they're like,
What about white?
Okay, so fun fact, there is very few people with white lightsabers, and how that works is you take a red lightsaber, which is a kyber. The crystal inside of a lightsaber is called a kyber crystal, and when you make it red, you have to hurt the crystal itself, and like, but you're basically killing it and making it suffer the whole time when it works. And that's why red lightsabers, when they ignite, they look more vicious, like unstable. But yet when you ignite like a green or a blue lightsaber, it looks more like passive, like a gentle flowing beam of light, but the red ones look more vicious and angry.
It's a lot more noticeable in the newer films.
Yeah. It's because the red crystal's like hurting and it's slowly dying. Um, if you're a strong enough Jedi, you can heal the crystal, and when you heal it, it does not revert to its original color. It loses all color and becomes white. And that's what a white lightsaber is. It's a healed dark crystal that is pure. It's like a pure crystal. But I would want an orange crystal. Like, orange has no significance in anything like Star Wars lore anymore. There used to be like one person with an orange lightsaber, and they were like of nothing of note. It was just like they had an orange lightsaber, and it's like, okay, what were they like famous for? It's like
Nothing.
they developed the technique of using a lightsaber with one hand because that person was like one-handed. It's like, okay. How about a pink
That's
light?
it?
Yeah, that was like literally it. That person was like significantly, and it was like a really short lightsaber too for like a pretty big person. It was like a short lightsaber, but they were very efficient in using it. So it was like, okay, and it's like I would want an orange lightsaber, but no. There's pink lightsabers, and a lot of people are upset that the extended universe, like the book lore character that had the pink lightsabers, got removed because she had no hands. She was a snake lady that used the force to control her lightsabers, and she had three of them. So she was a snake lady with three floating pink lightsabers that flew around her. Doesn't that sound
Mhm.
fucking baller?
I mean, it's a matter of fighting with a sword without even needing to hold it.
Yeah, but she's fighting with three swords with her mind.
Oh my.
Yeah, I think in the books, Eric told me once. He's like, "Oh, she used 5 lightsabers at some point, but she said if she used that many lightsabers, she wouldn't be able to use the Force at all." And she was a Sith or something, so she was able to like do Force lightning with her mind and shit. But if she used too many lightsabers, she wouldn't have been able to do different powers or something, which is understandable because she's using the Force to control the blade itself, and she's not at full strength when she has to fight with a sword, you know?
Mhm.
She's more powerful with just using her mind. But that's cool you went to Disney. I've never been to any of the amusement parks like that, like Disney or Universal. I've been to Hershey. Hershey's big around here.
I've not yet been to Hershey.
Yeah,
That'll be
we were trying to plan something this summer, but we just couldn't. It was too chaotic. Hershey does do a Halloween thing, so you know, Brandon. Hershey does like a big Halloween because Hershey's a big candy company. But
right.
they do a thing where if you come up and dress, like you pay for your ticket and that, if you come up and dress up, every time when you wait in the line for the ride, when you get off the line for the ride, they give you a small candy bar.
Nice.
So you're actually trick or treating while going on rides.
That's wholesome.
Yeah, that's great. But that I don't know if that's still a thing. That was a thing when I was a kid. I've never did that per se, but I've always seen the advertising for it because my family would go like late August. But it was always something that's like, can we go for Halloween? And my family's like, that's during school, and you would miss like a day of school. Like, no. But it was that thing that's like, you can go on rides and go trick or treating. It's like that sounds cool.
When it
Um,
comes to theme parks, I'm really a thrill ride buff. I
yeah.
haven't. It's been way too long since I've actually
Around
been on
here,
one.
we have it's called Knoebels. It's a very old amusement park, but they've kept up with it and kept on expanding it for years and years, and it's been getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Is it safe? I hear a lot of the older theme parks tend to be pretty dangerous.
It's very safe. They actually, it's a pain in the butt when you go up there because you'll go up there one day and it's like no rides are closed. This is great, and there's like some lines but not crazy ones. And then sometimes you'll go there and it's like two of the roller coasters are down. They're down for maintenance or something, and it's that thing that's like there's no way you can like predict like, oh, the roller coaster's gonna be down. So a lot of the other rides will then get immediately more, what's the word, busier.
Busier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just the thing like the Phoenix is never down. The Phoenix is like the first wooden roller coaster. I think that is literally what it says on the front. It's the world's first wooden roller coaster. And it is, I will not say it is like, oh my god, this is an amazing roller coaster. It's like, yeah, it is the world's first wooden roller coaster. It's a great roller coaster. Don't get me wrong. I love the Phoenix. Going on it's great. But
There's
it's,
only so crazy you can make those and still be safe.
yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't do a loop or anything. It does do like a very steep drop, but it's like a steep drop as of like 70 standards or something. I forget. But they update it. You can tell where and which parts were newer and older because you see the wood color. And they do specifically like try to dye the wood like a darker brown so it is all symmetrical. Like it all looks the same. But
Not symmetrical, but uniform.
yeah, uniform, not symmetrical. But yeah, they do like dye the wood to try to get it to look similar.
Hmm.
Yeah. But as far as I know, Knoebels has never had any big things that ever happened there. I think Hershey actually had something, but that wasn't even like a their fault. That was more like an idiot fault. Some dude dropped his hat while he was riding like the double loop or something. I forget the name of it, but it was like one of those rides where it had two loops. He was wearing a hat.
Hmm.
So he jumped the fence to get behind to go grab his hat. Somebody like the ride was still going. Well,
Yeah, that's where he went
it
wrong.
came down to the bottom of the loop, and unfortunately, somebody's foot came in contact with his head, and it became a football. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't wanna, you know,
Did
but
he survive?
his head became a football. So you tell me.
Uh,
Yeah, that's why I don't want to really.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Perhaps.
But it's that thing that's like that's not even a Hershey fault. That's literally this dude climbed a fence to get behind in a restricted area to be like, dude, I got my hat back, and then like literally that like, it's unfortunate. It's sad. It is like,
It was either get seriously injured or get in trouble.
yeah,
Damned,
Yeah.
damned if you do get caught. Damned if you don't.
yeah. But I mean, like, if I was to go on a ride or something, especially if it's called like the loop the loop, or if you see that it says has two loops in it, which most of the rides around here has that kind of stuff, um, they will specifically tell you like, hey, this ride has two loops in it. Like it'll have a sign that says loop, or like how many G's of force you'll receive from riding this. So you'll know like I can tolerate this.
Hmm.
Um if I was to hop on a ride like that, like maybe I'll take my hat off before I get on the ride. Maybe take my phone out of my pocket so it doesn't fall out of my pocket. Like some people don't think. Let's actually move on to our next topic. Now, what I'm gonna say, and we can do it if you guys want, but I was gonna do the random topic, which will be our final topic, and save the topic I suggested for next time. Would you guys be fine with that? And just go straight to the random topic?
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been at it for almost 2 hours now.
Yeah, we're getting close. That's why I'm like, random topic time.
Oh yeah.
So I am literally pulling up a random topic generator.
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Cool
Cool topic generator. Origin, random, specific, or abstract. We're going to do random. Quantity, let's do 10. So we're going to have 10 different topics to pick one. I'm not going to read them all because some of them are like, how many cousins does your spouse have? It's like, we don't need to go through that, because it's like, some of them are stupid.
Brandon.
Brandon?
Brandon isn't here anymore.
No, Brandon! No, the random topic scared him. He might have disconnected. I'll message him. But yeah, we'll go through the random topics. We'll see what we get here, and if we, he messaged me back. Yee. He accidentally closed Discord.
How do you accidentally? When you click the X, it doesn't close Discord.
Oh fuck!
It minimizes it to the system tray.
I have to re-invite him to the room. Give me 1 second. Black screen.
He's here. Pull him in.
Yeah.
All right. We won't.
Epic Gamer.
Epic gamer moment.
Close my Steam application because it finished downloading and I accidentally closed Discord instead. So
It's okay.
Try this again. There we go. That's better.
Fit to screen. There we go. Okay, so random topic time. There, like I was saying, there's some random ones that are literally like meant for small talk, but we're gonna look for an actual topic.
Mm-hmm.
How many cousins does your spouse have?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's when you disconnected.
Do you guys have a spouse?
Yeah. Lamau. Have you ever done something really unbelievable only to have no one around to see it? That's our random topic. Have you ever done something so unbelievable but had nobody around to see it?
That's something that I would have to really shuffle through my memory about.
I will say I will say what I'm about to say is a little like more saddish, but there were people around, so it wasn't like an unbelievable moment because it is. I think I told Brandon this recently. My father's mother passed away, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
She passed away in September, so a few weeks ago. And the day we were going to her funeral was the same day I was getting tested for my Class B driver's license. Now, where I live, we had no testers for my Class B driver's license. So I live in Pennsylvania. I live in like the northeastern Pennsylvania. I had to go to like central south Pennsylvania to go get tested. So like a 4-hour drive to go get tested for my Class B driver's license, come back, and then hop in the shower, take a little nap, and then go to my grandmother's funeral. While I was, I had to get up at like 2 in the morning to hop on the school bus because the other guy was gonna drive because I didn't have my license yet. He was gonna drive, and then I was gonna get tested. And they test you on everything. Like you have to tell them the procedures before you even go on the road. It's like a whole road test. They are very thorough because it's not just the thing that's like, oh, you're gonna be driving a school bus. It's like, you
You're
have
literally in
you
charge of.
you have up to 72 lives that you have to take care of when you are driving on the road. And to top it off, they're also children. So
It's not only like giving these people transportation. It's a matter of timeliness because these children are relying on your driving being timely and safe for
not even
their education.
timely.
I mean,
Not even timely. It's just safe.
school is a big deal.
Yeah. But it's not even just that. It's like procedures. Like you do procedures for going over railroads and procedures, and you have to know the ins and outs of your vehicle because you inspect your
Mhm.
vehicle every day. Like there's a whole lot to it, and I don't want to get into it. It was just the experience I had that day that is like a one in a lifetime experience. That's something really unbelievable. Um, when I was down there were so many Monarch Butterflies while I was testing. I got to the part where he's like, okay, it's time to go out on the road. We are going to do the road test procedure and that, and you're going to do your like if you're pretend drop off, pick up of children, and railroad crossing and your other procedures. And you're going to drive on the road, drive on the highway, drive on the freeway. And it's like, okay. And the whole time I'm doing this, there are hundreds of Monarch Butterflies everywhere. And I ask him while he's testing me, why are there so many butterflies everywhere? And he's like, oh, they hatch this time of year and they fly up to Canada. He just like he lives in that area, so he knows
This is
it.
something that happens every year. It's just a normal
Yeah,
thing.
it's a normal thing for him.
Mhm.
For me, it's like, oh, I see a cute Monarch Butterfly, and it's like I maybe see one every couple days. It's like I'm seeing hundred because they literally hatch in that part of Pennsylvania. They literally get out of their cocoons in that part of Pennsylvania, and they're flying around like crazy. There's so many of them. It's like I'm just amazed. There's so many. And I pass my test. I'm happy. All that. I go home and I shower and I'm getting ready for my grandmother's funeral. Um, you know, I changed clothes, all black and that. And it was so surreal because I have not seen my father's half my family in years, nor my father in years. And seeing that half my family, because some of them live up in Canada, some of them live in Las Vegas, some of them live around here. And it was just a thing like seeing all of them. It was so weird and surreal. But it hit me like a ton of bricks, like the emotional wave when I saw my grandfather. Because my grandfather, yeah, he's an older guy, he's in his 70s. But when I saw him, before this 10-year from not seeing him, he always looked like a younger guy. He looked like a young man.
Mhm.
He looked like he was maybe in his 40s, 50s. And, age, it hit him. At least to me, it hit him. Everyone around him, it's like, yeah, that's dad. It's like, um, I haven't seen him in
Yeah.
10 years. It's that thing.
Being so far away from somebody, you really notice the changes that they go through are a lot more noticeable when you don't see them every day.
Yeah.
Changes are a lot less noticeable when they're slight and you see them every day. I mean
Yeah.
how do you like point out differences
Yeah.
from a day to day, it's unnoticeable. But 10, 15 years going without seeing somebody, you really notice everything that's changed.
But we start going through the whole proceedings. My two aunts go up to speak because it was their mother,
Mhm.
and my dad was gonna go up and speak, but he just couldn't. He was too choked up in that he just couldn't. And there was a little bit of a family moment there. Uh, my grandpa kind of yelled at my dad, like, "You get up there!" And he's my dad couldn't, like, even without crying, he couldn't. So um, that kind of happened, and it wasn't like angry or sad or anything that my dad didn't want to go up and talk. It was just that thing that's like he was like, go up there, and my dad, like, everyone knew, like, he can't go up there and talk, he'll just break down. So it was that thing. um but then the pastor starts speaking, and the pastor goes through a few prayers slash hymns, or you know, the things.
Just
Eh,
some opening words.
yeah, well, he says a prayer and all, the proceedings
Oh
of the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
funeral. And near the end of, like, his proceedings and that, before they go on to, like, the next thing, he's starts telling this little story. He's like, I was recently up in Canada, and he's like, I forget what it's called, but it's like an indoor enclosure. It's nice and warm, and they let all the butterflies fly around inside it. And you can walk in and you put, like, a little bit of honey in your hand, or like sugar water or whatever, and all the butterflies will fly and land on your hand and start drinking from your hand. And he started going on about the monarch butterfly, and he started going on to say the monarch butterflies come from Mexico, in the mountains of Mexico, and they hatch and they fly up to Texas. The second season, they hatch in Texas. They come and they fly to Pennsylvania and, like, West Virginia and that. When they hatch in Pennsylvania and West Virginia, they fly up to Canada. But when they're up in Canada, and scientists can't explain this for whatever reason, when they're up in Canada, when they hatch in Canada, they go and they fly all the way back down to Mexico. Scientists can't explain it. And like, even insect and animal behavior scientists are like, just like, it's unexplainable. And then he starts going on to say, as Catholics, because some of my family's Catholic, some of my family's Jewish, as Catholics, we believe that we come from God. We don't know where God is, but we live our life on earth, and when we die, we go back to God. And he was drawing the comparison of the human life and the monarch butterfly, because the monarchs that come from Mexico die in Texas. The ones that come from Texas die in Pennsylvania, and the ones that come from Pennsylvania die in Canada. But the ones in Canada, it's not like they have another butterfly to tell them, we got to go down to Texas. Not Texas, to Mexico. There's no way they know to go down in Mexico. There's no rhyme or reason. It's not like a tropical airway or anything that's, like, carrying them that way. And it is such a harder journey for them to fly from Canada down to Mexico than it is for them to take, because when they fly up from Mexico, they take 3 stops and they live their life and die in those individual areas. The ones that come from Canada fly all the way down to Mexico, mate, and die.
Why is it that they fly north in the first place?
It's just their migration pattern. They have a migration pattern where they fly north, but what scientists can't explain, like, they can explain why they fly north to breed and die. They explain that to high hell. What they can't explain is why they fly back down to Mexico. And he was drawing comparisons that, from in which we do not know where
Do you
God
think it's
is.
maybe? Do you think it's possible that butterflies consider posterity?
It's a we don't know thing. But from what he was saying is that the butterflies from Canada don't know they need to fly back to Mexico, but it's just instinctive that they know that they do that. And there are okay, so I'm not crazy religious. Most of my family is not. Like, we're light Catholics. The type of Catholic we believe in is that all people go to heaven. If you've done bad things, you'll go to hell for a bit, but after you've atoned for that, you'll go to heaven. Um, at least that I'm not even sure if that's like our specific Catholic thing. Like, that may just be a my family thing. Like, if you're a good person and that, and like the whole thing is like God forgave you, God forgave humanity when Jesus came back or whatever. It's that thing that's like, it is the thing you go to heaven, and
I get you. I get you.
that is,
All people are forgiven eventually.
yeah, and that is what the pastor was getting at, is that we all go back to heaven, like the monarchs that come from Canada go back to Mexico, even though there's no rhyme or reason why.
Hmm.
And it was just that thing that's like, huh. And I didn't want to interrupt him and be like, I saw hundreds of monarch butterflies down in south central Pennsylvania just earlier today, like 6 hours ago. I saw hundreds of them. And it's just like, it's not hitting me, where it's like, huh. I mean, it hit me, but I didn't want to share that, because it just sounded like, oh, he's a crazy man, you know.
Mm, no,
But
that's fair.
but it was such a, like, there were people around, but it was such a oh my god moment, but no one will believe me. That it's just like, I saw hundreds of monarch butterflies just earlier that day, and I had a priest literally tell me and my whole family later in the day, just like, there are so many monarch butterflies like that. It's like, my dude, that's insane. Hundreds of monarch butterflies, you know?
Yeah, that's definitely interesting to think about.
Yeah. You got anything, Brandon?
The most amazing thing that I did and no one was around to witness. I mean, I could exaggerate and give a whole bunch of BS, but um, I try to think what would be. That's a tough one actually because it's like, well, you've definitely experimented with different things. You definitely try to do stupid things that you may or may not hurt yourself with. Uh, Thankfully nothing serious. Obviously, I wouldn't be here today. But I think, hmm. You have to get back to me on that. I have to think about that question.
Yeah, that is the thing about the random topic, that once you do something like a random topic, it is kind of like, you know?
You do have to cook. Yeah, you do have to cook up a lot of things. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess, probably one of the coolest things that I did was, I don't know how I would necessarily call it cool, but I was able to. Mm,
I mean, I can say that there's a lot of little things that I could consider to be pretty amazing that have happened, but my brain and the memory that I have is not the best at, kind of recording those kinds of things. Because I think whenever I am alone, I live in the moment and I tend not to.
You don't dwell on
Yeah,
memories.
I I don't remember things. I don't remember little things all that well.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, that is the nature of a random topic after all. But I think we'll call it there. What do you guys think?
I am
I think this is pretty good.
okay with that.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys want to drop a social media link or a channel or something if people want to talk to you?
Don't search for my Twitter. You won't like what you see.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. The twitch.tv/the RoPB Hero. Occasionally I stream here and there, but not very often.
If you if
But
you
yeah,
if you drop a link in the live chat, it will stay there forever.
I guess I'll drop one.
So if you
I may have
drop a
to open
link
it
in
up
the
soon.
live chat later, it'll stay there later.
Sounds good. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
And how about you, Sam? Do you have a YouTube or I know you said don't look up your Twitter, but
I have a YouTube. I don't really upload videos consistently.
yeah, that
I
was a
mean,
me thing and now I'm trying to get back to it.
I just exist.
You
I upload
exist.
if I ever feel like it.
And where would they find you if you were to upload when you felt like it?
I use the same name for everything. It's Aviator Sam.
Okay. Okay. And as for that, in random topic generator, what time is bedtime? We're going to say now, guys. We're going to
Sounds good to
end the
me.
stream now. And maybe if we think that this turns out to be a nice idea that people like, we'll put more effort. This is
I'll
kind of like
definitely
a
make sure
little
to
off the
organize.
cuffs. This is a little bit more off the cuffs kind of thing. We will try to
Yeah.
make it look a little nicer, make it look better, make it sound better.
This was almost entirely impromptu for all of us.
Yes.
True.
We will do it so it is more podcasty. There will not be anything that you will need to visually see on the screen because that is the nature of a podcast. But we'll
I like to
come
maintain our 6 feet distance here.
yeah, we will maintain our 6 feet distance here and keep anonymity because I personally don't like showing my face when streaming just because I like to have that privacy. Just because it's like I don't want to make myself look nice because I am a self-conscious person. When I go out into the world, I like to think I dress nice. And I don't want to have to put up that look of me needing to look nice in front of my household computer. It's like my hair is a mess. I got a headset on. I'm wearing a t-shirt that is just a house t-shirt. I wouldn't wear this t-shirt in public. But yeah, and PJ bottoms. But yeah, just kind of anonymity and fun content. If we come back to this, I do want it to be a sometimes thing. I don't want it to be like, we'll come back with another stream in a week. If we decide to do this again, we'll do it in a month. How does that sound? Maybe not with Brandon and Sam. Maybe just with Brandon and somebody else. Maybe just with Sam and somebody else. Or maybe with both and two other people. Or maybe with neither and two other people.
Maybe read an audiobook instead. This is sponsored by.
Oh yeah, we forgot our sponsor. The internet. If you have the internet, this is how you are seeing us. If the internet does not exist anymore and you are somehow seeing us in a different way, let us know in the comments below. I would like to know how the future works.
Me
And
too. Can you forward that?
yeah, can you forward like what works after the internet? Is it like a juice that you get like you drink a cup of tea?
Well, it's definitely going to
Juicero
be one of
secretly
those.
becomes the internet of the future.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be one of those hand-powered blenders.
Oh, we're gonna go back to like the hand-powered radios where you crank the radio up and there's like,
Exactly.
that's how the internet
Exactly.
works. Is you're just sitting there cranking the radio with one hand, cranking you have
Like
like
you crank it past your internet speed.
yeah, and pro gamers have like 3 other people on the side, like super buff dudes, just like cranking the internet. It's like I only have 20. I need higher speeds. Someone get Bill in here. Vroom. Okay. See you guys. Bye bye.
All right.
I
Evening.